Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher. I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm on a limited budget, so I wanted to demonstrate that it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. So the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range, and today's selection is pretty close to that. I've had to, because we're living in quarantine times, I've had get kind of creative with my beer purchasing. And I told you last time, I don't know whether we're going to have June reviews or not, guys. I really don't. But this is the last one of May, and we're just going to have to see how it goes. I picked up a 4-pack of the Cacao-A-Bunga chocolate coconut porter from Big Dogs Brewing. Big Dogs is a local Las Vegas brewery. There we go. There we go. That's so you can see everything. There we go, Cacao-A-Bunga. We've got a big dog riding the surf there on a coconut shell, actually. I have to admit, the first time I saw this, I did not catch the coconut here. I thought that actually said Caca-A-Bunga. So, yeah, there you have it. I'm a fan of Big Dog's Brewery. I've sampled 12 of their beers with an average score of 3.69. This 16-ounce can cost me 3 and a quarter. As I said, I did buy it in a 6-pack. I'd have to, let's see. Actually, I think I have the information here. What did I pay it? Not a 6-pack. 12.99 is what I paid for the 4-pack, which means that I paid 3 and a quarter for a 16-ounce can of beer, and that's actually pretty close to the range that I try to keep it in. I mean, when you get an extra um, 4 ounces of beer, you end up paying a little bit more. So it's a 16-ounce can. Normally, I try to buy 12-ounce cans or bottles that are close to $2. 16-ounce, you end up having to come up the price a little bit. I get that. This is a 6.2 ABV. Typically, American porters come in between 4.8 and 6.5. I don't have an IBU count on this. It's not on the website. It's not on IBU. It's not on Untapped. A lot of times, even Untapped will have it if the brewer doesn't have it on their site, and Untapped doesn't have it either. Speaking of Untapped, very, very few reviews. 92 reviews total on Untapped, giving this beer a cumulative score of 3.79. Beer Advocate only had 2 rankings with an average score of 3.55. That's not enough for them to do a cumulative score. Um, Porters. Porters actually are the mothers of stouts. So every stout is a porter, but not every porter is a stout. Porters actually started um, in the late 17th century. The steamivores on the Irish docks would oftentimes drink dark brown beers to the point that the beers became known as porters. That was what they drank while they were on the job, apparently. And so the name sort of got stuck with them. The the name of the beer got stuck to the guys who were doing the job. I'm going to show you two important things here. As you can see, Las Vegas, Nevada, Big Dogs Brewing Company, made in Nevada, independent craft. Important label to me. Maybe you don't agree with me, that's fine. I believe and I put my faith in independent craft. The minute that I see that little logo right there, the upside down, there we go. The upside down bottle, which I will eventually get, there we go. The upside down bottle, to me that means you're dealing with a craft brewery, not a corporate brewery. Do we have a brewed on date? Yes. Okay, so at the time of this recording, this beer is just under 3 months old. So there you have it. Uh, it is a chocolate coconut porter, so it's bound to have some interesting flavors, I hope. And I'm going to go ahead and crack this bad boy open, drink some beer. I'm going to be using my porter stout glass. That's how these are referred to. The distinction between this and a Boston shaker, one, as you can see, it kind of comes out a bit from these sides that are coming in. And two, notice the rounded bottom. The Boston shaker glasses that you see your bartenders preparing your mixed drinks in and shaking in, those have the square bottom. Those apparently kill beer. So at least that's what a lot of the blogs say. I figure, well, people who've studied this longer than I have made this conclusion. Fine, I'll go along with that. Turns out I did have a moth in my glass, and I haven't rinsed it out like I always do. I don't have a Santa flush system to rinse out the glass, but I do always rinse out the glass. Somehow I managed to not get a moth. So anyway, a little extra protein in my beer today. Um, so as you can see, what you are seeing is actually very close to the color of this beer, maybe just a slight darker. This is actually a very dark reddish brown. It's like a dark copper or a dark bronze even is what I would say. That head is fairly resilient. Now I do see a lot of bubbles popping on top, but I still seem to have a lot of depth to this head. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick beard wipe, see what I can encounter in the notes. Honestly, not much of anything. Let me see if I stick my schnoz directly and if I can pick up any notes. Okay, that's where it comes from. That's where I'm getting lots and lots of chocolate. I'm not really picking up much in the way of coconut. I'm getting dark chocolate malt, which is what porters are known for. Porters are the distinction between an American porter and the English porter. Because it's another variety that started out as an English beer and the Americans took. Um, but an American porter usually is hoppier than an English porter. However, an American porter is really supposed to be more malt forward than hop forward. So I am definitely getting the configuration of malt that suggests to me that this is going to be a nice malty, rich chocolate flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and start drinking and quit yapping my flap and drink some beer. Cheers. Okay, initial impressions. Creamy mouthfeel, very creamy mouthfeel. Um, it's got some flavor to it. It's not, it's okay. Hmm. I'm almost feeling like the coconut perhaps tempered down too much of the chocolate. I'm actually not getting much in the way of coconut, but I feel like the chocolate roastiness that could be there is not there, possibly because of the coconut. Like if they had just left the coconut out, this would have been a really good chocolate beer. It's roasty, it's chocolatey, but I'm not picking up any I'm not picking up any coconut notes, and frankly, I think it's so-so on flavor. Kind of disappointing because I got three more of these now. Um, hmm, I'm not sure what to make of this. Uh, I think the beer itself basically deserves a 3.25. It's going to get an extra 0.25 for coming in a can. And I think 3.5 is actually rather generous, not rather generous, but it is it's a generous review, or a generous score for this beer. No real alcohol burn, 6.2 ABV, that's not altogether surprising. Um, a little bit of spikiness in the mouthfeel. It is creamy, it's a creamy finish, but I don't know. I think honestly, I think it's very average. In fact, I think now I'm giving it too high a score. The beer itself deserves a 3.0, and it'll get an extra 0.25 for coming in a can. So it's going to get a 3.25 for me instead of a 3.5. Pardon, I'm not. I'm trying desperately to get something out of this because it is a local beer, and I usually try and give local beers a little more slack. But all in all, it's an okay porter. But as somebody who's a real fan of brown ales, and personally, I like porters better than stouts myself. Um, I'm just not loving this beer. But there's just better beers from Red Dog from Big Dogs. So, well, guys, this didn't turn out so great, and honestly, I don't know if I don't know whether we're gonna have June reviews or not, guys. I'm sorry. Last time I went to my local grocer and tried to build my own six pack, I wasn't able to come up with more than three beers. I mean, I couldn't find more than three beers, and I don't know how things are gonna go. We know we nobody does. We don't know how much longer this is gonna last. Uh, I hope that I'll be seeing you guys in June, but I'm not certain. So until I see you again, drink good beer, don't break the bank doing it, and cheers.